So, okay. You can hear me now, right? Okay, good. Alright. Sorry, there's a little bit of delay on everything, so I've just been sort of whoops. Not create. Clone icon sensor, no. As you can see, the products and all that. No, I was under one other thing. Learning, Caspa, no. Wallet, art, selling. There we go. So I was fixing up my website a little bit. These are the projects that I'm working on. Heading to. I'm using Squarespace for this. It does the job sometimes. Because there are a few things that I'm working on that are in progress. So I am working on the Despa comic, which is the world of cards. That one's slightly on hold. I'm still trying to flesh out the story on that one. Chained by Fate, I have the general direction of Chained by Fate. I just need to draw it out, and it takes me a while for me to draw it out, so I actually have to draw out quite a bit. Corieste is the story about Guardians and how they work behind the scenes and their stories. That one will most likely be a very short series for the webcomic. It may be just 30 episodes or more, depending on how people think about it. But Corieste will be a short enough series that you could easily run through it, but it touches on all the other stories because they intermingle. All these stories intermingle with each other, including the Cursed Witch, which all the different series are just going to intermingle with each other. So these 4 series, I'm going to link them all together in their own type of universe. Well, multiverse. Because they don't all exist in the same universe. It gets a little weird. Then there are multiple different card decks I'm working on. I'm starting from the first card deck and then working my way down. So the alternate deck will be next, where I change all the kings, jacks, aces, jokers, queen. So kings, queens, jacks, aces, jokers. I won't change any of the number cards, so whatever number cards that I have right now will remain the same. The only thing that will change are the royals and the jokers, and I include the aces and the royals as well, because they're just low ranked knights in this case. Then the zero deck is another deck that I'm going to work on. That all this will relate back into. This is for Despa, so all those who sign up for my Patreon, for the ones that sign up for the lower tiers, you will get a 20 to 30% off on purchases of the card decks when they come out, and I'll set up the coupons and such for that stuff. It may just end up on my website. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look at what Etsy will allow me to do and such, and Amazon. So I'll figure all that out. But for every deck that is released, and then the Halloween, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and Easter deck. The Halloween deck will be scary for the most part, but all the visuals and everything of each and every deck will be remade from scratch. So none of the decks will be the same. The Halloween deck will be fun to do, but I'm working my way up to that after I draw all the people and such. And then I'm working on a book right now, and it will be, so this is the one that I'm working on. There will be black and white pictures to it. I'm going to release this on the Apple Store and the Amazon store. So, and it is called Shimatal. It is one of the books that, well, it's one of the ideas I just came across. And Shimatal is a story about post-apocalyptic worlds. A post-apocalyptic world after the apocalypse already happened, and it's already been a couple thousands of years later. So it's not exactly post-apocalyptic. It's more of how society ended up after the fall and such. And how magic and all that stuff still exists, but some parts of the world don't use it and some parts do. So it is a love story, though, which is an interesting thing. But no, I will release all the details of all these things on my Patreon. So Chapter 1, In Shame. In the darkest nights, when the wind tore through me, I saw nothing but myself in agony for what I'd lost and what I have yet to lose. My wives, daughters, and sons are slain, but for what? My folly was trusting in those who have no form or name to speak. I kneeled down at their corpses, while their tears that never end streamed down my face. As I cursed the heavens multiple times as to why they do not answer, but the sky only darkens. Now I know that I will not have help from the heavens, and they will not bear me solace in what I have lost. After all has been done, I wish for death, but I am denied it even by my own blade. All I can do is bury my kin and leave the village that I once called home. That's just the first paragraph of this. But I have multiple pages, multiple chapters, and I'm working on trying to just do 12 chapters of this. Maybe more, but I will end it up on a cliffhanger for this story. And eventually I might make this into a comic, but I want to at least get a book out, just so that I have something that's constantly earning me income, but also at the same point, main camera? Also at the main point, I just wanted to create something other than what I already have. So I have redesigned a little bit of my website already. This is just the last part of it. And I'm just trying to just work on it today, tomorrow, the next day. But no, I'm gonna, yeah, so that will be on the other screen more or less for the moment. So let's get to drawing. And because it is getting closer and closer to Halloween, I have Photoshop closed, don't I? Oh, lovely. But I will be doing the jamboree, so I will be going to an event for. Yeah, these aren't my drawings. They're just nice backgrounds that I have. And then, right, this is just all my QR codes that I have for, because as I said, I'm getting ready for the jamboree, so everything that I'm doing right now I'm just going to force quit that. So, big camera. So, if you want to just pause it and scan one of these QR codes, go ahead. But these QR codes will lead you to my social media sites and all the different stores I have, for the most part, and my main website. But that's that. Let's go back to the tablet and start drawing. Alright, so we finished all that we could on this. Rhea was the last one that we finished, if I could get her going. There we go. So Rhea is one of the ones that we finished. So that is at least something. So we're going. I finished her up just a little bit, slight cell shading and all that. But she came out really nice. Okay. But I'm going to start something new. And I just do them all 5x7 at 600 dpi just so that I can rescale them later. And CMYK because most of these will be, well, they won't be on the computer. And if I wanted to print them, it's a lot easier to print them. So, alright, let's look into ideas. So, as October is what it is, yeah, I need to close some things or take away some of the hogs. Right. So, whenever I have something open, it doesn't always work right, so I have to deal with a few things. So I'm going to save this since it's not in the stuff seen yet. And we'll go to the one tab and minimize the tab itself. And look at all the other stuff that is open. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, I don't have much open in the first place, so let's quit out of Pages since I've already saved it. Let's go back to this, Command Z. Okay. Alright, let's see. Can we draw anything on here? A little laggy, but good enough. Alright. And I would use another program, but anytime I stream, and I mean anytime I stream, I have issues with all the programs that I use. So let's see. Oh. I already got a nice little shape there. We'll start with that. Yeah, you already don't know exactly where I'm going, but since we're getting a lot closer to Halloween and such, I'm going to do these very, very interesting. Well, very more so Halloween-like creatures. So there'll be a male, female, and the like. Let's see. Most of it. We're not gonna do that, but for the most part, we'll do this. We'll just give this character a interesting look to begin with. But I'm still wondering of what to put on this other eye, because but yeah, no, this one's just going to be an interesting one in its own right. But I like going a little bit off the rails for all these different characters. This one's no different. Alright. But I'm just getting the main idea out here for this character. And let's see. This one just needs an ear, really. Slightly disformed ear, but an ear nonetheless. Okay. And we have a head that doesn't look quite finished. That's what I was going for, really. Just a little bit of skin to cover up that one eye. And I may just leave it like that as my own design choice for the character. Not going to draw the rest of the body, just leave it at the neck. Alright, let's bring up the Safari window just on the screen, just so in case I need to see what's going on. Okay, good. Alright, so we have our character. I know I was a little late today, but hey, it happens. Okay. Oh, I am being recorded too. Okay, so now that we have our character, we're ready to go. So I'm just gonna, if you do want me to notice anybody on this stream, I do have my chat open on my secondary screen, so what you do will do. Alright, now we flesh out what we've already drawn. Now that we have a good sense of our character, we add the bone that is part of his skull, and that just so let's see, the bone that is part of his skull, there we go. Sorry, my mouse always bugs out every single time. It's a little bit more cooperative today, but okay. Bone over bone. Okay. And it's a little cleaner than normal, so there we go. But Halloween is my bread and butter for at least drawing, so. But there we go. We have our nice little skull. The one that will give us some nightmare. And right around there we go. And then the rest of it, make it a little bit uneven. And because I don't want to do the whole ear, well, I want to do the ear, but sort of slightly undone. And then right there. It's like an eyebrow, but no hair. And grafted skin, we'll say. It's just so that his eyes remain shut on one side. Okay. And cracks there, cracks here, cracks everywhere. There we go. We have our nice, somewhat disembodied head. Whenever someone draws a skull, they try to make it symbolic in some way or so. But I kind of like the way it shows as it is. A little bit more this way though. There we go. Closer to what I was doing in the first place, so. Alright. So now that we have our general idea here, I'm going to adjust it a little bit. So right down here, don't like this as much as I thought. And then this right here, that will remain fine. And I'll draw something here, so. Because without it, he just looks like a disembodied head. Alright, let's add another sketch here. Well, for the most part, yeah, for the most part there. Because if I start drawing the ribcage, it looks different and weird. But let's just adjust this, because just this alone is interesting in its own right. Alright. So we got our main shape. As interesting as it may be. There we go. I'm just adjusting this real quick, because I'd rather have something else here. Okay, so up to there, because if you look at it, there's 3 vertebrae, right? One you can't really forward, actually 6 vertebrae all the way to down the neck, but you can only see a few of them. And he just looks the way he does. Let me just keep the face as it is and then adjust it. So let's see. Yeah, as I try to figure out what am I going to draw, really. Yeah. You gotta love it when programs just don't work in your favor, so. Kind of need the neck a little bit for this character. And just give him tattoos. Why not? But I'm not going to draw the full character out. That's not what I like to do here. Alright, so we have our main character. We have him in his grotesque form. We're going towards skin colors. Good. Well, we go more towards orange. It becomes more like skin. Alright, so now that we have that brush, I'm just gonna get the areas that are to be skin and just fill them in. Rest of his body. Well, even this right here. I'm doing it on the wrong layer, aren't I? Okay. Is that on a separate layer? No. Okay, so I have an extra layer upon an extra layer, so lovely. Okay, I'll delete layer 6. Alright, layer 5. So I'm just adjusting the color so I figure out what looks best on all of us. Okay. So I'm just getting the basic color for everything. So we'll have a thick neck. Why not? 2 bone-like tattoos. Sure, we'll go with that. I'm not putting a shirt on him because there's no point at this point. But then we adjust it to a little lighter to get the skull look. It goes above. So looking at the bone, and as such, we have our creature. Okay. So that'll be the bone, and then I'll make a darker bone for that bone. That will go under the bone. A bone. A bone. Sorry. Alright. And that will be the main part of this right here. Just slightly less of what it should be. we have our general character here, for what it's worth. And we go into more of a green-like state here, as we start to draw the rest of the features. So the next one would be the eye. And then the actual eye. Okay. And then the hair, which will be more of a rose color, sure. Well, pink. Pinkish. Rose is technically pink anyway, but there's that. So we have our main character, well, our character for this. And then we'll have to add the shading and such. But, actually, let me just turn off the... There we go. Now you can't see me. Alright. Now we have everything ready and set. Alright. So, let's... Alright. Now that is done as it is. Okay. I'm gonna do this. I'm seeing what can be done here. What needs to be done. Delete that layer. Alright, so let's see. Where should I start adding all of this? So let's start with the beginning. We're going to take away that. It's going to just be simple. Okay. So right here, I'm going to do a little bit of shading here. Size will matter. I don't want it to be too big. But big enough to where it covers the area that I need. There we go. That works. So with any sort of a skull or any different type of painting, well, digital painting like this, it can't just be simple. So you kind of have to add the little bits and pieces of complexity to it. Alright. On, off. Well, opposite of that. And then multiply. And just lower down the intensity. Still gives a nice effect. And less shading. So the darker the shadows are, the more interesting it kind of looks. Gives that feeling. Adding the touches to the bone. Give it a nice look that is very delicate, but you can do cell shading in this too, but this at least gives the nice look that I was intending. So if we take off the shade, it still adds a little bit of intensity. So I like to keep a little bit of each. So I do both cell shading and not cell shading at the same time. Well, just regular shading. Let's do this. Do have to adjust everything for the lighting sense of it all. That works. Okay. And we adjust it here as well. Just a slight little glimmer of light. And it works. Alright, well, I'm actually going to end it there, but we have our character. I'll finish him up, but he's practically ready to go. Just a few little fixes here and there, and we're off to the races, or something of sort. But no, he's almost good to go. I'm just tired today, but no, everything looks good, and we are set for the next stream, which will be on Friday. So all those who have watched and all those who are watching, thanks for joining, but hope to see you then. Well, this is Tim from TechArtist41, signing off for today.